Hello everyone and welcome to another video. And welcome to Leonard, episode 2. At the end of episode 1, Denise had just asked our man to tell her some of the interesting things he'd done in his extensive army career. And he told her that one of the apparently most memorable highlights of his career was going to a Chinese restaurant in China where he ate stir-fried eggs and tomatoes. So, of course, Denise asked him again. Now tell me some of the real interesting things you've done and places you've visited in your extensive career, please. Good afternoon, he said the next day. I'm sorry about yesterday. I hope you're doing well. OK, but tell me some of the interesting things you've done in your career. Our man went away and thought. He came back a couple of hours later. I remember when we were stationed in Hawaii for an appointment, which I was to train some new soldiers, and it was during the Christmas season. And the roads are always congested with a lot of human traffic, so it is we and security personnel duty to make sure there is peace. I vividly could remember those days in Somalia. It was devastating for the troop. Then we had physical street combat with the indigenes, and some of my men got injured, and it was really rough, and we had enough casualties then. OK, that first one makes no sense. Actually, reading it back to you, it did make more sense. And I thought we agreed you weren't going to type meaningless rubbish anymore. Yes! We did! How are you? I thought we did, said Denise. I was much better till I tried to work out what on earth you were talking about. It's a combats that happened some years back in Somalia. The first one, said Denise. The garbled rubbish about Hawaii. It was a training appointment that was given when I was stationed in Hawaii. Yes, but what was all that garbled rubbish actually meant to say? And the roads are always congested with a lot of human traffic, so it is we and security personnel duty to make sure there is peace. Doesn't mean anything. Would you mean that because it's Christmas and there are a lot of people around, they started fighting? No, but sealing and breaking of homes. Sealing and breaking? You mean they were a building company demolishing homes for rebuilding? Yes, and sometimes unknown men could come up to take someone else's property. Why'd you interfere and stop building companies from doing their work? Asked Denise. The building companies was using fake materials. You got to admire him. He was sinking on his feet there, as Denise was deliberately misinterpreting him. But they were demolishing, not building. Yes, but they were some buildings that was built under the same building companies, and not more than year the building collapse. If you say so, replied Denise. How's your day going? He asked. It was much better till I tried to work out what on earth you were talking about. Tell more about yourself, he said. Talking about myself. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. I love friends and family. I'm a fun person and make friends easily. I love life, love my family, and still have some love to share with a special lady. Life can be lonely without someone. I'm a person who is very real when it comes to life and its issues. I'm honest, kind, caring, affectionate, good sense of humour, easy-going, free-thinker, trustworthy, and respect the lives of others. I've never met a man that didn't tell you they're honest, caring, etc., said Denise. Hello. Sorry, I've been busy, he said a few days later. Good morning, said Denise. I missed our little chats. It's been boring without you. I miss you too, Denise, he said. Have you had any more bad dreams lately, she asked. No. How have you been? I'm fine, thanks, she said. You're welcome. What did you do for today? I was going to town on Friday morning to do my shopping, she said. What did you do? Nothing much, just work as usual. What did you do at work? She asked. Remember, you aren't allowed to say I went on patrol or I was in the documentation room. LOL, he said. Patrol! And I did check on my man who's been sick of fever. We agreed you aren't going to repeatedly tell me you went on patrol, she said. You're going to tell me what you actually did at work, so try again. Radio calls and checking up my man who was sick. You spent a whole day doing just those two things. Keep trying, I'm sure you'll think of something. Did go for patrol as well, too, he said. We agreed you aren't allowed to say that, said Denise. Describe what you did after you started work. I've told you all did, he said, but you don't want to agree with me. Try, we set off on foot, or I drove the jeep too, or we were taken by bus too. Then describe what you did when you got to wherever you were going. Try, we checked on the residents' welfare, or we were asking shopkeepers what they needed, or we were observing movements on the border. I'm sure you'll think of something. LOL, he said. You're too funny. No, said Denise, you're too boring. Why can't you tell me what you actually did? Have you forgotten already? Imagine you're writing a report to your superior officer. OK, he said. In the morning, went out with Jeep, and also got some medications of my sick man, and we did 3-hour patrol on observing movements on the border, which was our shift, and get back to camp. I did also had my dinner. Phew, said Denise. What? He said. Phew, at last, said Denise. Took you long enough. LOL, you're so sweet and fun to be with, he said. It's a shame you're so boring, and I have to keep asking you the same question over and over before I get a sensible answer, she replied. LOL, please, is enough. OK? I hope so, said Denise. We'll see. Maybe he'll answer first time when I ask a question. Maybe, he said. Are you alone? Meaning? Yes, he said. If you say so, replied Denise. What is your idea of a perfect date? I like the 8th of July, said Denise. It has such a lovely sound. So, do you like the beach? To have fun? He asked. What? Replied Denise. Do you like going to the beach? He said. Yeah, we go to the beach when I visit my daughter in Brighton. They only live about half a mile from the beach. Sound good? I like beach too. I love to watch the wave of the sea and its sound, he said. Yeah, when my hubby was alive, we used to like being by the sea in Cornwall, said Denise. Sounds sweet, he replied. You'd love to spend time with one else again if you have the chance? If I could find an intelligent man who could have an interesting intellectual conversation, do you think there's any chance I could find someone like that on Facebook? She asked. Yes, he said. I hope you're right, replied Denise. Smile, he said. Don't you someone like me? LOL. Don't I want someone like you? Isn't that an Adele song? Asked Denise. LOL. Do you like that song? He said. Yes. Me. My daughter-in-law's an Adele fan, said Denise. Yes, you what? That's good, he said. If you say so, replied Denise. Me want to be more than friend to you, he said. Me want proper adult man, not child, said Denise. Me want proper adult man with proper adult conversation. What's the meaning of that? He asked. I think it's self-explanatory, said Denise. I told you I want to find an intelligent man who could have an interesting intellectual conversation. That's an insult to me, you know, he said. Oh, said Denise. You think you aren't an intelligent man who could have an interesting intellectual conversation? I'm intelligent. OK, he said. Then please start to sound like it. OK, said Denise. Please, I am. OK, he said. I'm off to bed, said Denise. Maybe you'll wake up tomorrow with an IQ that's 20 points higher than it is tonight. I live in hope. It's OK, he said. Sweet dreams. Good night, dear. Good night, said Denise. Have a good night rest. Are you still here? Good morning, said Denise the next day. And that evening he thought he'd do a bit of copying and pasting. Unfortunately, he forgot to copy and paste the beginning, so he started mid-sentence. Person who you've spent time knowing each other, understanding your differences and sharing beautiful memories together. A whole lot of times we grow into the friendship and it becomes a strong bond. In the world today, most people live longer because of the joy and happiness their families and friends have brought to them through memories and moments spent together. Good night, my friend. Why did you start that first sentence halfway through? Said Denise. Could you copy and paste the whole thing, please, so I know what you're talking about? I make it up myself, he said. How are you? How was your night? Hope you had a good night rest. If you made it up yourself, why did you start halfway through? Said Denise. Please write the whole sentence so I know what you're talking about. It's OK, he said. How are you? Please write the whole sentence so I know what you're talking about. That's the whole sentence, he said. Don't be ridiculous, said Denise. Of course it isn't. Please write the whole sentence so I know what you're talking about. I'm just appreciate the time we both had shared. OK, he said. Please write the whole sentence, said Denise, so I know what you're talking about. Here you are. I finished it for you. Because she'd Googled it, and what it was supposed to say is a good friend is a person who you've spent time knowing each other. Now, apologise for lying when you pretended you'd written it yourself, she said. LOL, he said. You gotta be kidding me, OK? I'm sorry, dear. No, I'm sure you can read, said Denise. A proper astrology, please. Why are you doing this? I said I'm sorry. Please forgive me, he said. Said Denise. Why did you lie? Nothing. I'm sorry. Okay. Okay, said Denise. Are you working today? Yes, but didn't go out today. I guess you have to work different shifts, said Denise. Yes, that's right. Could I ask for your advice on something, please? She said. Okay. And you might know what she's going to ask him. I need to buy a new cooker, and I can't decide whether to get a gas one, an electric one, or one with an electric oven and a gas hob. Do you cook? If you do, which would you use? Yes, I do. The one with an electric hob and gas oven, which isn't the option she offered you, since I don't bake often, and electric is available for cooking every day. What do you mean? Said Denise. Gas is available every day as well. Get the one with an electric oven and gas hob, he said, changing his mind. Why do you think I should do that? Said Denise. Because both light and gas are available, and for gas cooking is less consuming an oven. What does that mean? Said Denise. I thought we agreed you weren't going to type meaningless rubbish. Because both light and gas are available, and for gas cooking is less consuming than oven. What do you mean? Both light and gas are available. Of course I've got lights. It means you can get any one you think is better for you. Okay, said our man, abandoning the unequal struggle. Okay, said Denise. Guess that wasn't very helpful, but I thought I'd ask. Why? He said. You've never accepted anything I tell you. Do you have an oven? Why? Get any one you this is better isn't helpful, said Denise. I was hoping you'd give me your reasons for preferring electric or gas. You know, more controllable, cooks more evenly, something like that. You rarely told me anything that isn't garbled rubbish, she said. I'll ask some friends and see what they think and what they use. Have I asked you how long you've been in Syria? I can't remember if I have or not. Electric cooking gas is better off, he said. What? Said Denise. What even is electric cooking gas? It's cooking equipment, which use both electric and gas. I've no idea what you're talking about, said Denise. I'm sure we agreed you weren't going to type garbled rubbish. I don't think you've ever cooked anything, have you? You have absolutely no idea what you're talking about. Stop! I'm not typing rubbish. You're the one making fool of me, he said. I don't need to make a fool of you, said Denise. You're typing meaningless garbage because you have no idea what you're talking about. Tell me how long you've been in Syria. I don't remember if I asked. It's been few months now, he said. We can talk in another platform. Because I'm not always on here, said our man, who's been on here a lot, having long conversations. Yes, you are, said Denise. We've been talking on here for ages. How much longer will you stay where you are? Do you Google Chat on app on your phone? He asked. Denise couldn't be bothered telling him she didn't have a mobile phone. She just said, yes, I use that, and gave him her email address. And so, better late than never, they moved to Hangouts. Over on Hangouts, our man's conversation really picked up a few notches. Oh, wait, maybe that was someone else, I don't know. Hello, he said. Good afternoon, replied Denise. How are you doing today, he said. Very well, thanks. Hello, he said. If you don't have anything interesting to say, why did you want to move to Hangouts? I have a lot to say and share with you as my friend, he said. Have you done anything interesting in the last couple of days, she asked. I had a lovely afternoon with my friend Barbara today. We went to Dorking and had a cream tea in a lovely little cafe. Good morning, and how are you doing, he said. I hope you all had a good night rest, and also having a wonderful morning. You said you have a lot to say and share, replied Denise, and you've told me nothing. So to save me repeating myself, here's what I asked you last night. Have you done anything interesting in the last couple of days? I've been working on my garden today. That's nice to know. Love flowers and gardens and animals too, he said. I have a dog, and he's a 9-year-old. He's a Labradoodles. That's the most interesting thing you've done in the last few days. Get a 9-year-old dog. Will you be allowed to take him home? No, it not. I'm just trying to tell you about my dog and the garden. I miss him. He's home. Have you done anything interesting in the last couple of days? Asked Denise again. It's just work here and patrol. You knew that was coming. There's nothing interesting because all we do here is keep everyone safe. I don't remember if I've asked how long you've been in Syria, asked Denise, because I'd forgotten that she'd only just recently asked him that. 4 months now, he said. OK, and how much longer do you have to stay there? I think 2 months, he said. Not much longer, just a short stay then. I'm here for a peacekeeping mission, he said. Yes, I know that, replied Denise. I'm curious. What made you decide to join the army? I want to fight for the betterment of my country, he said. Oh, said Denise, I prefer peaceful people. What will you do when you return from Syria? I will want to set up a small business that I can do from my home. You're going to leave the army? Asked Denise. Yes, I'm retiring soon. What kind of business will you run? She asked. I'm still thinking of what to do, he said. Okay, said Denise. Good morning to you. And how are you doing today? Hope you had a good night rest, he said on the Friday morning. Good morning, said Denise. I've just got home. I was going to town on the bus on Friday morning to do my shopping. Our man disappeared for the rest of that day. Good afternoon, said Denise the next day. Have you had any more thoughts about what kind of business you might set up when you retire? Hello! Good morning, he said, mid-afternoon. How are you doing today? Hope you had a good night rest. I really don't know yet. We're friends, and you can give me some ideas. So Denise felt an opportunity coming on. I don't know what your skills are and what experience you have, she said. If you have computer skills, you could try selling, designing, publishing something online. Start a YouTube channel or an Instagram channel. If you're into manual skills, you could become a painter, decorator, gardener. My grandson keeps telling me I should have a YouTube channel and talk about issues we oldies have. Make videos about our childhood and what it was like. Make videos for our fellow oldies, warning about internet scams, that kind of thing. What do you mean by internet scam? Said our riled scammer. You sound like you know much about that internet. We had a talk at the WI a couple of months ago, said Denise, from a lady who was telling us all about those awful scam call centres wanting to get into your bank accounts. Benji thinks I'm so ancient, I should have a channel about the ancient history of my childhood and my life. That sounds good, but I'm not really a social type. But when I met you, I thought about making you my friend, he said. I'm an old-fashioned man. You'll have to think of a business that involves interacting with people, said Denise, mistyping, because what she meant to say was you'll have to think of a business that doesn't involve interacting with people. Yes, he said, but I want to work from home. I'm sure you'll think of something, said Denise. Yes, I will. Have you ever talked to anyone online before, like we're doing now? I don't see why my friends are any of your business. Don't be nosy, said Denise. I'm very new to this online stuff, he said, and I want to know if you have other friends you talk to online. It's still none of your business, said Denise, and then I thought about it, and Denise had a change of heart. And I don't see how it's connected to you being new to online stuff, she said. Look, he replied, I just don't make friends with anyone. If we're to be friends, we should be able to be open with each other. Denise piled in. OK, there's an army general in Syria, James. He's been having a terrible time. I feel so sorry for him. I had to spend $1,500 because his daughter broke her arm and he was too far away to get to her, so I paid her hospital bills. Poor thing, she's home now. I've also been talking to a lovely gentleman on an oil rig near Sardinia. He's been on the rig for 2 years and he has to fish for his own food because they don't have proper cooks in the canteen there. Sounds awful. There was a man called Marxist that I talked to for a while. He confused me, so I stopped talking to him. Some story about him having a friend in rugby who owed him money, and he was going to pay for me to go to rugby to meet her. I didn't go because I didn't understand what he was talking about, silly man. I'm just trying to know about your experience online, he said. It seems you know much about the internet. And then he reread what she'd said, probably the bit about her paying $1,500 for James's daughter's bills. You're a very kind woman, he said. It's very nice of you to say so, said Denise. Not everyone will help you without knowing you very, or meeting you in person. Your heart is so big. I like to help people if I can, said Denise. That's so nice to know, he said. Good morning, he said the next day. Good afternoon, said Denise. How are you? Good evening, she said. I just got home. My friend Barbara took me out for the day. Hello, how are you doing today? Hope you're having a wonderful day. I just got back from, guess where? Patrol. Denise ignored him. Hello, how are you doing today? Hope you had a good night rest. Good evening, said Denise. I'm staying with my daughter for a couple of days. She's going to take me home on Thursday. There was nothing much on Wednesday, and then Denise arrived home. I'm home, she said. I had a lovely time with my daughter, but it's always nice to be home. It's too hot here today, so I'm staying indoors. Hope you're okay." The UK was having a second heatwave. "Good. Is your day going?" "It's starting to cool down again," she said that evening. "That's good to hear. It's been a busy week for me." "Let me guess," said Denise. "You were busy going on patrol, but you don't know what you actually did. Did I tell you about my friend James? It's his daughter's birthday next week. He can't send her anything, so he's asked me to send her a $200 iTunes card. Do you think that's too much for a 14-year-old? I wouldn't send that much to my own grandchildren. I think I'll send her $100. That should be okay, shouldn't it?" "No, I don't think it too much," he said. "But if you have it, you can help him. And you did not tell me anything about your friend James. Where is your friend James?" "I did tell you," said Denise. "Look." And she copied and pasted that bit where she'd told him about having to send money to James's daughter for her broken arm. "Is he the one in Syria?" he asked. "That's what I told you before," said Denise. "His daughter broke her arm, poor thing." "Oh, okay. I remember you did. What are you doing right now?" "Yes, it is." "You think it's okay to send a 14-year-old $200? I don't know how much kids need these days. I give my grandkids £100 for birthdays." "Depending on the agenda, male or female," he said. "Meaning?" replied Denise. "Because a female needs is more than a male," he said. "I'd never treat my granddaughter differently from my grandsons," said Denise. "Yes, you're right about, but there's difference between the growth of girl and boy." "I'll send her $100, replied Denise. "It's okay, that's fine. How long have you known this guy?" he asked. 2 months, I think, said Denise. "He's so kind and friendly." "It's okay, if you say so." "I have to go to bed now," said Denise. "It's late here." "It's okay. Sweet dreams. Wish you good night rest. And please text when wake up in the morning." "Good morning," said Denise. "It's going to be really hot again today. I usually go into town on the 10:30 bus on Friday, but it's too hot, and my daughter did my shopping for me before she brought me home yesterday." "Good morning to you," he said. "It means you're having a stress-free day. Why not stay in with your air conditioning on?" "What air conditioning?" asked Denise. "I have a large fan in the living room, which is turned on." "We don't have air conditioning in most houses in the UK. I'm lucky. I have an air conditioning machine." "Okay," he said, resorting to that old scammer favourite. "How have you been doing today?" "Keeping cool," said Denise. "How have you been doing today?" "Busy, but good," he said. "Busy doing what?" asked Denise. "Doing my usual jobs. You know, if the person that you're talking to online can never actually tell you what they were doing, there's a very high chance you're talking to a scammer. They never actually research the jobs they claim to do." "Which are?" replied Denise. "You're such hard work to talk to. Apart from repeatedly asking me how you're doing, or telling me you're busy, you have very little to say for yourself. I like a man who can have a proper conversation. I'm fed up with telling you what I've been doing, only for you to tell me you've been on patrol, or just to tell me you're busy. At least my friend James is interesting to talk to, and his daughter is lovely too. She sends me lots of emails to tell me how she's doing." "Hello! Sorry about that," he said, "but it's just because we don't have much time to talk to each other. I'm having issues with my connection. I would love to know you more better, and also talk more often." "I don't see how that stops you having a proper conversation," said Denise. "What is doing my usual job supposed to tell me? Boring, uninteresting, and uninformative." And of course, as I just said, the scammers can't tell you what their usual jobs are, because they have no idea. "I'm going to stop telling you anything, and just follow your lead. Or maybe I'll just go and talk to James instead." As you can probably tell, Denise was getting fed up with him by now. "I can't stop you from talking to whosoever you want to talk to," he said. "I'm a very open person when it comes to making friends. I have never done this before, and I really appreciate talking to you and getting to know you more better. We have a very big time difference, and I also have to work. I file reports, and also go for long hours of patrol too, so I think we should take it one step at a time." And none of those, of course, should stop the person that you're talking to describing their day. And if anyone says to you, "more better," then there's a very high chance that you're talking to a scammer. "One step at a time," replied Denise, "just repeatedly asking me, 'Hello, how are you doing? Hello, how are you doing? How are you? What are you doing right now? How have you been today?' without ever telling me anything about yourself. How will I get to know you more better if you never tell me anything?" At least tell me what you're doing when you text me. I always tell you what I've done, you never do. So unless you get more interesting, I'm fed up with talking to you. I've had more interesting conversations with pre-programmed phone robots working their way down a list of questions. Do you remember telling me this? And she copied and pasted the bit right at the beginning where he'd said, I'm intelligent. Okay. Then we have to create Tim for ourselves, he said. And we have different time zone. Don't be ridiculous, said Denise. Your boring inability to have a conversation or to tell me what you've been doing has nothing at all to do with your time zone. Nothing at all. I want to share with you my life and everything. If only I can trust you like I told you. I'm new to this and I'm not a robot. Okay? So far, you're sharing nothing about your life, said Denise. I'll tell you what I've been doing. You tell me nothing. So stop making stupid excuses. I have no reasons to make excuses now, for any reason, he said. Good, said Denise, then stop making them. But if you don't feel comfortable with me, you can as well let me know, okay? I just did, replied Denise. Stop making excuses. I have my own problems, and life too. You should try to understand that. Stop making excuses, said Denise. Can I ask you a question, he said. Only if I can give you a ridiculous answer like you do, she replied. Really? He said. All together, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, really, replied Denise. Can I trust you? He asked. How on earth would I know, said Denise. And if anyone says to you, can I trust you? Or you say to anyone, can I trust you? Just think about what answer you might expect. Are they going to say no? It left for you to say if I can trust you or not, he said. If I say yes, replied Denise, how do you know I'm telling you the truth? You've talked to some people online, he said. But I have never done that. Do you think it's easy just to build a conversation on phone? Stop making excuses, said Denise. I managed to tell you what I've been doing. If you make one more ridiculous excuse, I'm not interested in talking to you again. What did you want to ask me? Because you said yes. I should be able to believe you. Or have you been lying to me about everything you told me? I've always believed everything you said to me. And that, of course, encapsulates the reason why you should never ask that question. Nobody's going to say no, you can't trust me, are they? Now what on earth are you talking about? Said Denise. That's your idea of a conversation, is it? Let someone tell you about their life and then tell them you don't know if they're lying. Is that why you won't tell me about your life? Because anything you do say will be a lie? If you don't want to talk to me, it's okay. All right, he said. Goodbye, said Denise. And then, of course, added, you really are an idiot, aren't you? Really? He said. God bless you. Yes, really, said Denise. And then, of course, he realised what she'd said. That one word that gets him every time. I can see you don't have respect for a man, he said. I can see you don't have respect for a woman, said Denise, telling her she might be lying. You just called me an idiot? Question mark, he said, refusing to tell her what you're doing, but letting her chat about her own life. Yes, I did call you an idiot, because you're behaving like one. OMG, said our deeply offended scammer. So either have a proper conversation or go away. You have a count of 10 to decide. She got to 7. This is not a conversation at all, he said. Okay, goodbye, said Denise. Maybe you should go to sleep. I don't think you're okay, he said. Have a wonderful day. Thank you for the insults. Denise had had enough of him and didn't reply, and he disappeared. Goodbye, Jean Leonard. And just think of the opportunity he missed. She told him that she'd sent money to James, so he already knew that she was a potential victim who would send money to scammers. But he didn't take her up on it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, you know what to do by now. Please like it. Hit that like button under the video. Please share it with your friends and family and any organisations that you know that might want to warn their members about scammers. Please comment down below. Please subscribe to my channel and I'll see you again in another video.